The old Blackwood Manor stood at the edge of town, abandoned for decades, its towering spires and weathered stone walls whispering of forgotten tragedies. Locals avoided it, calling it cursed, haunted by the ghosts of the past. But when Evelyn Harper arrived in town, drawn to its mystery and history, she saw not a house of horrors, but a place waiting to be revived. Evelyn was a historian, chasing the past wherever it took her. The manor had once been a grand estate, home to the enigmatic Blackwood family, before they vanished mysteriously one stormy night 100 years ago. No bodies were ever found, no explanations given, only whispers of a terrible fate. Determined to uncover the truth, Evelyn purchased the house, despite the warnings. She felt an inexplicable pull to it, as if the walls themselves had been calling her for years. The moment she stepped inside, the air shifted, thick with something unseen. The grand staircase loomed before her, its railing smooth yet cold beneath her touch. Dust clung to forgotten furniture, and a scent of aged wood and time filled the air. But there was something else, a presence. She felt it, unseen eyes watching her. That first night, the house spoke, not in words, but in whispers that echoed through the halls, in flickering candlelight though no wind passed through, in a shadow that moved when no one was there. And then she saw him. A figure stood in the doorway of the grand ballroom, half shrouded in darkness. Tall, dressed in old-fashioned clothing, his face was sharp, striking, with haunted eyes that burned into hers. "You shouldn't be here." His voice was deep, smooth, but laced with sorrow. Evelyn's heart pounded, but she refused to be afraid. "Who are you?" she demanded, stepping closer. The figure hesitated, his expression unreadable. "My name is Adrian Blackwood." She froze. That was impossible. The Blackwoods had disappeared a century ago. You can't be." "I am," he murmured, stepping forward. "And you shouldn't have come." But she had, and she wasn't leaving. Evelyn spent days researching, trying to understand how Adrian could be standing before her, solid yet not entirely real. Every night, he appeared, warning her to leave, but never forcing her to go. Instead, he lingered in the shadows, watching her with a sadness that seeped into her bones. The more she learned, the deeper she fell into the mystery of him. Adrian had been the last heir of Blackwood Manor, a man accused of terrible things, murder, betrayal. But Evelyn saw no monster. She saw a man trapped in time, bound to a fate he never chose. One evening, as she traced her fingers over an old portrait, she felt a hand brush against hers. She turned sharply, and Adrian stood inches from her, close enough that she could feel the coldness radiating from him. But there was warmth in his eyes, in the way he looked at her, as if she were something impossible. "You're not afraid of me," he whispered. "No," she admitted. "I should be, but I'm not." Something flickered in his gaze. Hope, or maybe something far more dangerous. Night after night they talked. She learned his story, his pain, how he had been cursed to wander the house, unable to move beyond its walls. How love and betrayal had sealed his fate. And slowly, impossibly, she fell for him. It was madness. He was a ghost, a relic of the past. But love was not bound by time, nor by death. Then came a night when she found the truth hidden beneath the floorboards of the study. A diary, old and brittle, filled with desperate words. A woman's words. Adrian's lover. She had cursed him in her final breath, her love twisted by vengeance. Evelyn ran to him, the pages clutched in her hands. "I can break it," she whispered. "I can free you." Adrian's eyes darkened. "And if breaking it means I disappear?" Her breath caught. She hadn't considered that. To free him might mean losing him forever. Tears burned her eyes. There has to be a way. His cold fingers brushed her cheek, a touch barely there, but she felt it like fire. "You've already given me more than I ever deserved." "No," she choked. "I love you." Silence stretched between them. Then he kissed her, not air, not illusion, but real, his lips cold yet searing against hers, stealing her breath, her heart. The house trembled around them, the curse breaking, the whispers screaming. And then he was gone. Evelyn fell to her knees, sobbing, the house now silent, empty. Days passed. She couldn't leave. Blackwood Manor was his home, and now it was hers. But every night, she lit a single candle, hoping. And one night, as the flame flickered, a whisper brushed against her ear. "I found my way back to you." She turned, and there he was. Not a ghost, not a shadow, but Adrian, real and whole. Love had defied time itself, and they were finally free. As time passed, Evelyn and Adrian discovered that freedom came with its own challenges. Adrian, now truly part of the world again, had to learn to live in an era he did not belong to. The world had changed drastically in 100 years, and his once grand manor was now a relic. He struggled with technology, modern customs, and the overwhelming noise of a world that had long forgotten him. Evelyn, on the other hand, had to balance her professional curiosity with her personal emotions. She was still a historian, but now she lived with history itself. She helped Adrian adjust, teaching him about the modern world while he shared stories of the past that no book had ever recorded. The town, however, was not so easily convinced. Rumors spread quickly about Evelyn's mysterious new companion, a man no one had ever seen before, but who bore a striking resemblance to the long-dead Adrian Blackwood. People whispered of ghosts and unnatural resurrections, of deals with spirits and curses that should have remained buried. And then the shadows returned. At first, it was just a feeling, a sense of unease creeping through the manor. Then, objects began to move on their own. The whispers came back, but this time, they were filled with rage. "The curse was never just about me," Adrian admitted one night, his expression grave. "It was about this house, about the sins of my family." Evelyn refused to let him face it alone. Together, they delved deeper into the manor's secrets, uncovering hidden rooms, forgotten letters, and the truth about the Blackwood curse. It was more than just a lover's vengeance. It was the result of a deal made generations ago, a promise of power in exchange for something far darker. To truly break the curse, they had to go beyond love. They had to uncover the sins of the past, face the restless spirits that still lingered, and put them to rest. As the final confrontation loomed, Evelyn realized that her love for Adrian was not just about defying time. It was about rewriting history itself. And history was not so easily forgotten.